Okay, great morning. Well, as you know, yesterday I decided to change my diet and we're going to give this a shot. So, this is the first installment of that. Um, so, I have Lyme disease, and yesterday was a particularly difficult day, feeling off balance and very dizzy. It was hitting in that field yesterday. Now, for those that don't know, Lyme disease, it migrates. You have so many different things. I have the Morgellons going as well with it, and sometimes it hits you where you just you're feeling off balance and just dizzy. You get a lot of that, where you're just feeling off balance, and it can hit your joints. You wake up and one day it'll be in your back, another day your elbow, and exhaustion. Yesterday was a day of exhaustion as well. So it was my first day of working to switch over to carnivore diet. And yes, I know that's very controversial with a lot of people, but I'm going to give it a shot. So yesterday was the first day. I had eggs. I ate, was it 3 or 4 eggs yesterday? And I had some summer sausage. I had some barbecue pork that I got at the Chinese thing, which was great. They must have just made it. It was so wonderful. So I had that as well yesterday. And my coffee, had my coffee. So I'm in the midst of really I'm taking down my sugar in my coffee by half. So, I want to do some of these changes a little slowly, because if you just drop everything immediately, all the carbs and everything you've had, you can have a real, really difficult reaction, difficult time to switch over. So last night I did have some corn chips because I had no carbs at all that day. So and I did feel, a bit better with that. So today, starting off the day, I'm having my coffee. This is day 2. Day 2. Have my coffee with half the sugar that I usually have. I'm going to try to work down to having no sugar. So we'll see. Oh, yesterday I also did have cheese. Now, I'm not doing full carnivore in just meat. I do well with dairy products as well. So mine's going to be a bit modified. I will have dairy products, cheese, and, that type of thing. Eggs, cheese, meat. So all the products that come from cow, okay, trying to get raw milk, that was a disaster yesterday, running around trying to find it. There was one place here that I guess with the pandemic, maybe they lost their farm or something, because they are no longer there. And I only found one place in town that does get raw milk, and that's on Tuesdays. I found out it delivered Tuesdays, so Tuesdays I'm going to have to go down and pick up the raw milk and give that a try. So that's where I'm at with this. This is day 2. So I'm also taking with this the teasel and the OSHA. I'm taking teasel, OSHA, and the sweet artemisinian, the sweet wormwood. Okay, so those are the things I'm taking. I was taking a lot of things for it. I mean, just a ton. I was taking a ton of things for the Lyme. I'm kind of backing off of that for now, but we'll see how this goes. I'm going to give this some time and see how it's working out. Now, one thing that I found that's helping a bit, but it's very painful if you have Morgellons. I have been taking the Epsom salt soaks every night, and I've done this now for a number of months. But I started finally, just soaking in the tub and then taking some of the Epsom salt. Now I take the one with the almond, and I think it's shea butter and almond, but I just take a little in my hand and just rubbed it over the places where I have the Morgellons, and I tell you, it stings like, it's like liquid fire. But it is, I noticed that is making a change in that. So that part's good. If you can endure the liquid fire for a few minutes, because I'm telling you, it is going to burn. But that seems to be working better to clear that up. Now, for those that don't know, the Morgellons moves as well. I started out with having it here. Then I developed, what's it called? I can't think of the name of it now. Where you have, if you've had chicken pox and it can, shingles. I developed shingles, and it was really bad. I had the shingles that went up the neck, into the brain, down here, into the jaw, and down the shoulder. Now, when I finally got through the shingles, and please, please, please take the vaccine for shingles. It is not something you ever want. I mean, it is, it's like having liquid lava and eating your skin. And it is the most painful thing that you can imagine. And all you can do is scream. I mean, it's please, you don't ever want that. But what happened? The reason I'm bringing this up is because I've never seen this mentioned anywhere. That when the shingles left, the Morgellons moved into those same pathways, okay? Because the spirochetes will attack your most vulnerable place. And with having had shingles, it moved into those pathways. And it was in my neck. The worst is coming into my neck, just feeling like, something's boring into my neck. And then it went down the shoulder, and now it moved from the back, then it started going down the back, then it started moving into the chest. So it does move, okay? And it feels like having some sort of a bug or something there. People, they go in and they say, oh, you're imagining bugs. It's not a bug, it's a spirochete, and what they found out that those filaments are due to a systemic infection, and you'll see these things. They're blue and magenta and kind of a clear and black. You'll see these things. If you look under the microscope, you'll see these long string-like things growing, okay? And they've done the tests, and they found out it's an overgrowth of collagen and keratin that happens due to the infection, okay? But it feels like stinging. At one point, when it was really bad, I couldn't even have wherever your sheet would touch your body, it would be like thousands of fire ants biting you at once. And when it starts to open a new one with the Morgellons, you'll see it looks like either a little red dot or it looks like a fire ant bite, you know. And so that's what they look like. And whether you scratch it or not, it's going to sit there and take months and months to heal. Okay, so that's Morgellons is another subsection of Lyme disease. Okay. Oh my goodness. So with that going on, then you know, I did have the really bad in the neck. You can get really bad stiff neck, extreme headaches, joint pain, the malaise, like like fibromyalgia. A lot of times you get misdiagnosed with fibromyalgia or even MS or a number of other things. It can affect the heart, okay? They have had people that died from Lyme because it went into the heart. Yeah, it just affects any and all areas of the body. So, difficult thing to deal with. But anyway, on Lyme the other day, I was reading about ones that had gone carnivore, that it actually did help with the arthritic things and clearing up the Lyme. So I decided, well, what have I got to lose? Okay. So again, this is day 2 of the great carnivore experiment, and I'll let you know how it's going. But we'll see. We'll see. Now today, as you can see, I'm this when I'm connecting with the upper side, things go out of alignment, and something is trying to come through apparently today, because I keep seeing this shifting, that it's, you know, wanting to go like a bad kung fu movie. There it goes, shifting. So we'll see what's coming through today. Anyway, I take it that, you know, the other side is working on things as well for me in the midst of this adjustment. So we'll see what's going to take place. So I'm going to leave this here, but I just wanted to put out that I'll put a chronicle of how it's going with switching over to carnivore. There is a doctor out there, and he does, I mean, he's really strict carnivore. He only does meat, salt, and water. Okay, he's an athlete, he's now a neurosurgeon, and he's been having this for many years, and you can find him online. And some amazing stories about people that had to go carnivore. Now, I know in my own life, I've always had to have meat. Anytime I have tried to go vegetarian, I would get very, very ungrounded, and it just did not work for me. Now, some people's systems may be great with vegetarian. Mine is not one of them. So, and I think part of it has to do with your lineage, where your physical form, the things that have been passed down genetically with you. Now, my genetic thing, I did the test, and all my genetics come from Switzerland, Germany, France, Scotland, that specific area, okay? So those are the things, what's eaten there are the things that sustain this form better, okay? Now, if you are somebody with a lot of genetic markers from the East, maybe you do well with more vegetarian things. Maybe you do well with more rice and that type of thing. If I eat rice, something like that, my diabetes goes immediate skyrocket. Can't have it. As much as I love it, can't have it, okay? Or fruit. Those things just, my diabetes will just skyrocket. So I think that it has to do with your, what are they called, biomarkers or whatever, your genetics of where all the ancestors came from. Because this is the form I'm living in now. Even though I'm a spirit being, in the end, we are, living through a specific form in this plane of existence, okay? So this is the vehicle. Every vehicle, some vehicles have to have high test fuel. Some vehicles are using diesel. Some vehicles are using gas. And this is a vehicle. This is a vehicle. So I have to do with the recommended things that work for this vehicle, okay? You can't have a gas car and put diesel in it. It's not going to work, okay? So same thing. You have to find out what works for your system in the vehicle that you're in, okay? So some vehicles work well with dairy. Some vehicles absolutely don't. Okay, you have to find out what fuels your vehicle and go from there. So anyway, I'm going to leave this for now, but this is day 2 of switching to the carnivore with Lyme, and we'll see how this progresses. I will, keep informing you. For those that have Lyme, you might be interested in this series. For those that don't or not interested in carnivore, it might be something you just want to bypass, okay? Not every one of my videos will be specifically for everyone out there, and I understand that. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to be entertaining to everyone, etc. I just put out there what's relative to what's going on here, and it may relate to you. It might be something that you can, that's of interest to you, and it might not be, and that's perfectly fine, okay? So thanks for tuning in. I'm going to continue having my coffee this morning, and actually, putting the half sugar that I usually have in it is okay. So I'll probably stick with this for maybe a week, and then I'll lower it by half again, and we'll see how I do, and try to eventually get to no sugar. And now the sugar I use, I should preface this as well, I use the coconut sugar because that does not raise your blood sugar levels like other types of sugars do. Now, I've tried things like stevia, and those, they don't work for me, but the coconut sugar works for me quite well, and it does not elevate my blood glucose levels like other types of things do. So that is why I use specifically the coconut sugar in there. So on that note, I'm going to leave this, and I'm going to go make something. Now, the other day I had ostrich. It's a bit, I'm trying to think of what the flavor is like. It's a little gamey. It's a red meat. It's a little gamey. It was kind of like on the edge of being kind of like a liver flavor. okay? And it's hitting me but I can't put an exact thing on it. You know, you taste it and it's kind of got this little aftertaste. And I'm trying to categorize it. But I'd say a little gamey, a little bit closer to a liver type of a flavor, okay? It was fine, but I wasn't really thrilled with it. So I don't think I'll order that again. But the other thing I had was ground beef not ground beef, the ground buffalo. Now that worked a lot better for me than ground beef. Sometimes ground beef, I have trouble with it. But the ground buffalo, you can get it at Walmart. That was fabulous. I really did enjoy that, and I'll probably stick with having a lot more of the ground buffalo. So yeah, check it out. The ground buffalo that you can get at Walmart. You get it in that little specialty meat section with grass-fed and that type of thing. They do have a section in Walmart for grass-fed beef, okay? Now, I do try to get grass-fed as much as I can. Now, I'm not, uberly stuck on that. I will get other things, but I do often try to get the grass-fed stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, leave this here for now, and I'll let you know how it's going. But this is day 2. And I'll probably be doing a lot of the eggs. Eggs is a really good for people. The eggs are. They have all the protein, everything that you need. And it seems to be lighter on the stomach. Now, what I was having with eggs, I was doing the hard-boiled, and then I cut it open and do butter on it and salt. Now, I don't do pepper. My system cannot have pepper, it just burns the heck out of me immediately. So I do not do even black pepper. But I have the hard-boiled egg with some butter on it. And the butter I use is always the Kerrygold. The grass-fed butter, I stay away from the other types. So that's one thing I'm real particular about is my butter. The Kerrygold, okay? And if you're doing this, you want to do more marbled meats, more fat on it, because you get a lot of your energy and stuff from the fats. So you want the fattier cuts of meat rather than the really lean ones if you're doing the carnivore, okay? So anyway, I think this is the 3rd time I said I'm going to stop this now. And you can see my thing keeps shifting. It's wanting to go out of sync. Yeah. And here, that means the other side is wanting to work with stuff that, if you've seen any of my channeling videos, more often than not, the minute the channeling and stuff, when it's coming through, a lot of times my videos will go out of sync and I look like a bad kung fu movie. And then the text comes in. And so that happens with me frequently. So that's the way that works. And I can see today it's one of those days where there's a lot of, must be a lot of downloads, things happening today. My crazy life. So on that note, thanks for tuning in. Thank you for all the support. And I have, people that have sent links in. I have been watching those videos. Thank you for those. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone's here. If you're a new person and you're enjoying this, think about subscribing. Always good to have new tribe members. I do so enjoy all of you. So thanks for tuning into my crazy life. And I'll see you online. Don't forget today that will be Hogarth, myself, and Milu today. Always a joy to have Milu the psychic with us. So turn into that today. As usual, it's going to be an hour later than my usual time. Anytime Milu or Alina from Down Under is on the program, we will push things back, or put forward or back. We'll push things an hour later than usual, just for them, to accommodate them being on the show. And we do so appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Love and light. See you online.